There are only four main reasons that an executive will ever put into motion doing a product, a process, program, portfolio, you choose. There are only four reasons. The first one is increase revenue. Is this going to increase revenue or sales for us? Awesome, let's do it. And they'll spend a lot of time doing the product roadmaps and showing the return on investment or the projected return on investment, and they'll be going, yeah, that looks good. Let's go after this product and get it out to the market as quickly as we can. The second one is saving costs. And on the next slide, I'm going to show you both cost savings and increased revenues that we've done using Flow. And even this third one, get rid of, mitigate risk, is basically much more difficult to measure. A lot of times you'll hear traditional waterfall guys talking about de-risking a project. And I can give an example of that. We had a project we were working on, and they decided to pilot it with Agile. And they decided that, hey, we usually only do 5 or 6 product configurations when we're doing these kinds of products, and in 3 months we could do 5 or 6 of those configurations on the average. Teaching the team the principles of Agile and Flow, because we used Flow with it as well, the team was able to deliver over 30, I think it was around 32 product configurations in the same 12 weeks. And so that was like a compression of 6 times. So you're looking at 3 months. So you could almost look at it that, hey, they did almost a year and a half's work in those 3 months. But the reality is no company would spend a year and a half going through that. They wouldn't wait that long. They wouldn't invest that much money because they're trying to get to market. But by being able to do 32 configurations instead of 5 or 6, they were able to significantly de-risk the project. I mean, we're talking major risk reduction. That also has a massive value, and most companies have a way that they can measure that. So you got the cost savings, you got the compression, you got the high performance out of the team, okay? And that speaks the language of the leadership of the organization. Are you going to make me money? Are you going to save costs, help me save money? Or are you going to help me get rid of risk? If you can do just those 3 things, it's going to be pretty amazing. The fourth one is do the right thing. Sometimes companies have to do the right thing even though it may cost more. We get into this when we look at corporate social responsibility and things like that. But these are the 4 main reasons that an executive is going to pull the trigger, put the budget there, put the people in place, and say, go forth and deliver, right? Make sense? Makes sense to me. Here's just some of our results. This is from about 1995 up to about 2013, and this is not an exhaustive list. This is just some of the highlights, and we include all kinds of different successes. The original project that we worked on from 95 to 97, and then the follow-up from 97 to 99. In the first year after launching in 97, that company, their finance department, separate department, came in and did an internal audit on the savings for the first year, and it was $29.6 million of savings. That 2 or 3 other major consulting firms, the one that wrote the software, they tried to implement it and crashed and burned, and the next one tried to implement it, crashed and burned. Ted and I were brought in on the project to work with Dan and his team and the business owner, Dave, at that point in time. And we were able to rewrite the software, relaunch it, convert 70% of the sales force into using the software, which was an unheard of figure at that time. They wrote an article about this in CIO magazine in the US. And using double declining methodology in finance, they used the software for 12 years, and as they declined the value add each year, over the lifetime of using that platform, at minimum, they got $58.8 million return on investment in cost savings, and that was net bottom line. That's as if we had increased sales by multiple percents. Okay. More recently, I did an agile transformation for an organization, complete 250 people involved, 180 from the technical side, 70 from the marketing business side. I did a complete agile transformation for 18 teams, from the CEO to the C-level to the board members to their direct reports, all the way down to the team members. Everybody was involved. In the end, we took a 4.5-year backlog of projects. They had like 260 projects in the backlog, and we delivered it in less than 3 years. In fact, in year 3, by the time they were done, they had delivered over 290 projects, 10% more. Oh, and by the way, 10% of the people had left over that time. So we were down to 230 or 225, still delivering at an incredible rate. And we have we go into depth in this both in our book Flow and in our Flow certified professional training, which we're also going to put online. Ted did a corporate turnaround that resulted in a $16.2 million cost savings. I did one for an Asian mobile company. It resulted in $5 million of direct savings. And I did that in 90 days. And they were so excited, they put a contract for employment in front of me. We had just moved back to Finland at that time. My wife just laughed and said, "Nope, we just got home to Finland. We are not going anywhere." And so, much to their sorrow, I did not accept their offer. Later, did a Finnish mobile company, and on 2 different parts of that assignment, we created $7 million of savings. And Ted also created almost $1 million. It was $874,000 in the first year on an e-commerce company. And in the 16 months that he was there, it was over $1 million. And that's just on cost savings. And those are examples of using Flow over and over again. It's repeatable. We've done this for 25 years. For us, it's not even a question of whether or not we will either make you money, we will save you money, or we'll take out the risk so much that it still saves you money and headaches further on down, which I'll also go back and help increase sales. And basically, it's just doing the right thing with the right people at the right time in the right way. Typically will deliver the right remarkable results that you're looking for. On the increased revenue side, and again, these are not exhaustive lists, and this is just everything that I tallied up through about 2013. And we've been going at the same rate pretty much since 2015. So I know that our results for the last 7 years have been at the same level, at the same rates, using Flow for our companies. I've got additional case studies I'm working on that I'll be sharing in the future. Increased revenues for the Finnish mobile company, because they used Flow. No other company on the planet had ever captured more than 5% of the market as a startup and as a fourth mobile operator. And we did this in the most dense, overpopulated mobile market in the world, where breaking into that market was going to be extremely difficult. And we got like 15-16% of the market in like the first 12 months of launch. So if you take them back out, they start at about 36 million a month. Backing out what we added to that, it ends up that they were probably closer to the value add for them using Flow was somewhere around 24.7 million a year in increased revenue. And using double declining digits as you go through the first 10 years, they probably got close to 50 million in additional revenue per year. And instead of being fourth place, they ended up in third place in the market. If they had followed our original strategy and plan, they would have been in second place. But eventually, all of our team and everyone had gone their separate ways after about 2.5 years after launch. We did a sales forecasting tool for a division of a Fortune 500 level company. That tool increased their sales by 50% in the first 12 months, which resulted in an additional $12 million in sales for them using double declining digits on their rate over 10 years. Ended up being about 24 million of value add. Ted did an insurance sales company where it went from like 400,000 a year in sales to 2.7 million in sales. He added 2.3 million in sales using, at that time, what he called the model, which is the predecessor to Flow. Worked with a consulting company. We went from 40 consultants up to 120 consultants. One of my upsales for them added an additional 2 million in sales, where we started the project and program with 3 people, and that within the first 6 months we were up to 16, and everybody was there for almost 2.5 years. E-commerce sales, that was one of Ted's again, where for the one where he saved the cost savings, he also increased the sales by 1.5 million a year. Another assignment that Ted worked on, he was working with a distribution company and increased their sales $480,000 in 90 days. So that was a significant value add to that organization. Now you probably are starting to wonder, hey, how do you guys do this? And you can sort of look at it through an agile lens, and I'm going to show you in a minute how this actually works. You have basically 4 levels, and this 4 box comes from Agile Coaching Institute. It's an adaptation of Ken Weber's I, we, it's boxes that he uses for working with people. I've updated it to individual, team, product, organization, and if you were paying attention on one of the other slides, it actually said product also includes process and program, and then portfolio sits with the enterprise, and that's the organization box. And so if you look at, how shall we say this? Where everything fits into these boxes. One of the companies I work with has a hybrid agile methodology that's called PM 4.0 or Project Management 4.0. And that's a team level, focused a little primarily on how do you get the team to higher levels of performance, and doing it in a hybrid environment where the organization is probably still using traditional program management or tools like that. And so it covers primarily, the individual, the team, and sort of goes up into the product area. Maybe it goes further up into the product area. That's always open for discussion. And of course, all methodologies have some kind of link back to leadership, but none of them call it out explicitly. And so that's